Hey everyone, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and I've got another mock draft video for you. This is the final mock draft video for you guys this season, all right? This will be the 12th spot in a PPR league. I want to make sure this video is out for you guys. I know some people are still doing drafts, some people are doing today, tomorrow, and even up into kickoff time, all right? So I want to make sure you guys get this. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, every time we drop a new video, similar to this, or our start sit videos are coming this week, you are notified every single time. Also, if you have questions, please feel free to hit us up in the comments or hit us up on our socials. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, hit us up in the DMs. I know a lot of people are obviously having questions for who to start. We're going to have that video dropping for you in the next couple days, as well as asking about trade questions that are coming into the season. So we're going to jump right into this. This is the 12th spot. So for me, again, I'm always going to go running back if possible. So let's look at how this draft's going to go based off the computer mock draft and kind of see what makes sense for this team. Now, PPR does make some changes. Some people like to go wide receivers, as you can see here. But for me, I like going running back. Typically, you're going to see players like an Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Harris, all those guys kind of falling. So for me, I'm going to go Aaron Jones and I'm going to go Austin Eckler, okay? Two strong running backs, two great running backs for the PPR. And obviously, I got the swing. Now, you've got a little bit of time to get, back to you, but that's okay. Here's what I'm going to look for is what is the trends. Now, in a normal draft, you're going to see how your buddies are drafting, right? Are they going receiver? Are they going quarterback, tight end, whatever that case may be? This kind of helps determine where you should be drafting certain players. Yes, drafts do have some weird spots. Sometimes you see these weird drafts in here, but for the most part, most people kind of know what they're going to go after and go after them pretty fast. So you look at, obviously, running backs here like David Montgomery is a great option. James Robinson's a great option. I like having a third running back, especially if I need to use him for backup flex, matchups, or maybe some trade bait, depending on a certain receiver that you're looking for, right? You look at the receiver options here. I like these guys. For me, I like a CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper a little bit more than I like Julio Jones just because, he's being in a new offense, new quarterback, new system, whole new thing, and he does have some injury concerns, unfortunately. So I would rather pick a CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. I'm going to go back to the running back spot, and I'm actually going to take David Montgomery over James Robinson. I know some people kind of question that just because James Robinson will be the RB1 for Jacksonville like he was last year, and he did a great job. But David Montgomery did an amazing job last year without Terry Cohen. Cohen is obviously expected to be back this year, has not been given a time frame quite yet, and obviously we don't know how they're going to utilize him. Nagy has committed to at least 20-plus carries or touches for Montgomery, and that's enough for me to take him in the third round as a good flex option. I'm actually going to go CeeDee Lamb here, get my first running or receiver for the team. Strong effort here. He's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver as long as he stays healthy, of course, like anything else. Probably double-digit touchdowns. There's a lot you can go with CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. You can't go wrong either way. Now I'm going to fill in, like I said, the receiver spots, tight end spots, things like that, kind of get my roster down and then start filling up some of the backups, right? So looking at the receiver options, you got Michael Thomas, not drafting him here, maybe a little bit later. Odell Beckham Jr., good options there. You look at tight ends, Noah Fant, these guys you could draft a lot later. Quarterback, I can draft these guys a little bit later. I'm going to actually go Odell Beckham. I think he's got to have a great season this upcoming season, barring obviously an injury, of course, but I do like what's going to happen with him. Now, I could go receiver again like a Michael Thomas and wait for him to come back, obviously halfway through the season. It might end up being a steal for me, right? In one of my leagues, I actually got Michael Thomas in the 13th round because a lot of people are uncertain what's going to happen. You look at running back positions here, and I could go a fourth running back, which I'm not necessarily needing. Even though I like stealing a running back from some of these other guys, like a team like this that would have all receivers, occasionally you see that, right? So that might be a good steal in some of these options, but I'm actually going to fill out the rest of my team, and I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers here. Even though I have Dak Prescott a little bit higher, I'm going to pick it a little bit differently, right? Let's go get an Aaron Rodgers who was MVP last season, who had one of his best passing touchdowns, career high, if you didn't know that. He did an amazing job, and I think it's going to only be, I would say, very consistent. I don't know if he's going to repeat exactly last year, but he'll be obviously in the top 10, easily in the quarterback spot. So you see, obviously, the receivers, running backs, all going. So there's not a lot of depth at that particular spot anymore, besides a few like Damian Harris, who's a great option, Michael Carter, some good picks there. You look at receivers. I love the receivers here. I actually like Cortland Sutton over Deebo Samuel. Cortland Sutton's going to be a solid wide receiver one, and not a lot of given credit because he missed 1 year last year due to injury, and everyone's forgotten about him. Sutton was actually a really good player prior to his injury, and Judy obviously is now kind of getting people that amnesia where what was Sutton like? I like Sutton and Judy on the outside, even though Judy typically goes a little bit earlier than him. So I've got 3 receivers, 3 running back, got my quarterback. Let's look at the tight end spot here. So you got Noah Fant, who does deal with some injuries. Kind of hesitant on that. I actually like Mike Gesicki a little bit more just because he's a lot more consistent on staying on the field. He looked really good towards the end of the season. I think he's going to only grow with Tua at least a consistent quarterback, right? That last year was a little bit back and forth with Fitzpatrick, Tua. Nobody really knew what to do. And that affects any receiver or tight end. You know, people throw the ball differently. They expect different things. They know how the offense works. So I think this is going to be a lot better for Gesicki this season. So I like him a little bit better than, say, a Tunyon or a Gronk or Fant, things like that. So you look at the rest of the running back spots. You got Dillon, Singletary. Dillon's not a bad option here, just in case, knock on wood, Aaron Jones was to go out. I like handcuffing my starters if I possibly can. You look at receiver spots. You got Michael Pittman, Fuller, Mike Williams. Some really good options here. I actually like, and actually going to go after Nyheim Hines. Look, Hines is going to be somebody that they are expecting to get the ball a little bit more. They want to throw him the ball, get him active. Again, he's just a backup, and if worst case scenario, something were to happen to Jonathan Taylor, Hines actually did a really good job filling in as a great PPR option. So I got my 4th running back there. I've got, 5, 6 more spots here so I can fill those out. I'm actually going to go back to the wide receiver spot. I've got 3 receivers. I'm going to actually go back. And for me, I'm actually going to go to Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's going to be thrown into the starting roster as far as one of the better receivers for the Colts, especially since T.Y. Hilton right now is dealing with a neck injury. Nobody knows for certain how long he might be out. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, who knows, right? So Michael Pittman is a good option to kind of jump into there. Marquise Brown is another good one. Don't be afraid to draft him. I know a lot of people were kind of hesitant how he wasn't really inconsistent last season, but everything I've read and I've watched some of the practices, he looks really good going into the season. So I like him a lot. You look at, again, receivers here, some good options here. I'm going to actually go after Marquise Callaway. And you look at the running back here, nothing super crazy. And you look at tight ends here, obviously as a filler. So I'm going to go Marquise Callaway. Marquise Callaway is going to be the number 1 wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, at least for a little bit, right? So you want to make sure you have that there. I could go to another running back because I've got 4 here. Not truly sold on these guys. I could probably get maybe a little bit later. You'll get tight end. I actually am going to go Jonnu Smith here. I like Jonnu Smith. He's one of the better, I would say, tight ends that are definitely underrated going into the season. I know Hunter Henry tends to go a little bit further because Hunter Henry is very talented, but I like Jonnu Smith a lot. And I think really the quarterback position, I think both, Mac's going to really rely on both tight ends. They do run a lot of 2 tight end sets, so I think both of them will do really well. Again, he's not my star tight end. I like Gesicki a lot better, but I like Jonnu as a great backup in that spot. I'm going to go another running back here. I'm actually going to go McKissick again, another, I would say handcuff, but also another like a Hines where he's a good PPR option. He did really well last year when he filled in for Antonio Gibson. And again, it's one of those, if something were to happen, let me fill in the rest of my roster with a backup that can possibly fill in. So you look at the defenses here, absolutely going after the Colts. The Colts had one of the best defensive teams last year. They've got some great weapons on the defensive side. Darius Leonard, Buckner, some really good players there. And I like that team as far as defense goes. Now, obviously, now I'm going to pick my kicker. It's going to go all the way to the end, so I get my kicker. For me, you can stream defensive special teams and kickers all season. Completely okay with that. You don't have to lock them into your roster. They're not stuck there for you guys. So don't be afraid to kind of switch them up back and forth. All right? Don't be afraid at all, because that's a lot of teams will, going to have some bad matchups and things like that. So that's your 12th spot in a 12-man league. Let me know what you guys think about that draft. Let me know if you guys would have done anything differently. Maybe there would have been a different player, maybe a different strategy, maybe you go wide receiver in the second round, different things like that. Again, show off your teams, show them down in the comments down below, or again, hit us up in our DMs. We'll obviously answer your questions, and we'll be dropping that start sit video as well. I'm super excited. We are back for some football. That way you guys can get ready for this championship season for you guys. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Hit the like button if you did really enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Yeah.